It's a big Sunday of racing coming up. TVB Race Day at Shah 10 for a 10-race program across both courses, the all-weather and the turf in use. Welcome to Racing to Win. We're going to preview it for you right here on the show with Tom Wood and Nick Child today. And Nick, we've got a bit of an eye on the 4-year-old series at this meeting.
Yeah, we certainly have, Mark. Yeah, looking forward to it as well, obviously, with a few clues going into the second leg of the 4-year-old series. And, of course, the Derby. A number of horses have been entered, of course, for that race. And we've got a few of them lining up across Sunday's afternoon's card.
We do. We'll talk more about them shortly. No Paul Lally, so Tom's in the seat with the jackpot news.
Yeah, the senior citizens away, so here we are with the jackpots for the weekend. 6.2 million for the triple trio, so well worth getting involved there. There's a smattering of first starters through the course of the afternoon as well. I don't think it's the easiest Sunday card out at Sharton.
No, there's plenty of chances across most of those races. We've just gone past the midpoint of the season, so it's time, Nick, to bring up the report card on the top 10 jockeys and what they've done so far. We'll have a look at the trainers shortly, but Zach Purton, as expected, leads the way.
Yeah, look, no great shock there. I guess, if anything, maybe the numbers, when you really do sort of crunch them, that you can see where, you know, those winners have been spread far and wide amongst the riders. Karis Teeton's having a great year, 45 there for the Mauritian. Hugh Bowman, of course, was never going to be a surprise how well he would do. And Andrea Zaney, he's made up some really rapid ground, hasn't he, since he arrived. And also sneaking onto the bottom there, Keegan DeMello, great to see. He's riding well.
He is indeed. And Angus Chung, stack of winners, Tom.
Yeah, he's riding really well at the moment, is Angus. He's up in the high 20s now, so he's definitely on track for 35, maybe even 40 wins this season. Zach Purton there at, 66, so you'd say sort of 110, 120. Maybe he has got a one-meeting suspension coming up maybe next week or the week after.
He does, and Nick actually spoke to Zach to see what the man himself thought, how he was going at the midpoint of the season.
It's been okay. It's just been a weird season. We had obviously small fields early and we had a lot of wet tracks and got a lot of track bias and sort of ebbing and flowing a little bit. I'd like it to flow a little bit more, but yeah, it's not quite getting the quality of rides I'd like at the Valley. It's been a bit of a grind there. It's been a bit of a grind overall for the whole season, but it's okay. We've just got to build on it and hopefully we finish a bit stronger.
Last season, of course, was record-breaking for you. We know how much you like to break those records, and there was a nice one ticked off last term. I guess it's always hard to sort of follow that in a bit, isn't it, really?
Depends on the stable support. You know, if the stables I'm riding for got horses that are well placed in the handicap and they've got a nice batch of new horses rolling out, then that helps propel you along. And you know, with the great success that the stables I generally ride for had last season, their horses are a little bit high in the ratings, so it's just making things a little bit more difficult. You know, it's the way Hong Kong goes, but yeah, I'm just got to keep turning up.
You need days like the 28th of January, don't you, really? 6 winners in a day is never a bad day's work.
No, it's not, and there's a couple of meetings coming up where I've got some handy-ish rides, so hopefully I can bang a few multiple winners in and just help build some momentum.
Indeed, 21 clear as well of Karis Teeton, so hopefully another championship in the offering as well.
Well, hopefully. Still a long way to go. You can never relax in this joint. You're only as good as what you did yesterday, and tomorrow's always a new challenge, so we'll keep fronting up.
There is Zach Purton. That's our chat on the jockeys, Tom. And when it comes to the trainers, Pierre Rung flying along in the lead in his second season. Francis Loy, he bridged the gap last night with a full-timer at Happy Valley.
He certainly did. The momentum in terms of Pierre's season has just come off a little bit. People like John Sizer are certainly catching up quickly. Look, John's had 37 second placings. Ricky Yu, his stable's going very well at the moment. And then you all the way down to Frankie Lauren. Tony Cruz, Nick, and Tony's had the most starters out of anyone. Probably by his standards, a little disappointing this season. Yeah,
look, I tend to agree. And I mean, you know, it's never easy, is it? I mean, obviously some of these horses are getting older. They're probably getting badly handicapped to some degree. And obviously you've got to replenish that stock. But yeah, look, relatively quiet there for Tony. And, you know, I'm sure he'll hope things will pick up in the second half.
All right, you boys have spoken about the jockeys and the trainers. It's time to put the pressure on both of you right now because we're going to grab a horse to follow, Tom, for the back half of the season.
One that I was keen on at Shah 10 the other day. He's only had one start for one win, and that is Wind Cheater. He had a lovely run in the trail here And of course, this was the horse they couldn't get the bridle on for what was his intended debut. You can see he was absolutely trucking there, and then he got out into the clear, lost a little bit of momentum before getting into the clear, but was able to win. He's a son of Toronado. We know that progeny goes very well here in Hong Kong, and when he finally got the gap on the outside of Golden Bull, he took it very quickly and accelerated very nicely through the line. So I think he's got more wins in store this season, does Win Cheetah out of the Mark Noonan barn.
No pressure for you now, Nick. Who do you like?
Well, you know, I'm very keen on a horse who's actually got a bit more form than Win Cheetah, and this is Star Mac. Now, this is running the Classic Mile. Now, his trainer David Hayes has talked this horse up as one that's certainly better than his current mark. Now, they put him up to 69 rated. I tend to agree with David because this was a really good run here in the Classic Mile, third behind the very useful Helios Express, and I just feel he looks like the type of horse that's going to have a really good sort of second half to the season. So, really good turn of foot here over the mile. It looks if he'll get further, so there are some nice races to target, and I certainly think he's one that you want to keep on the right side of.
All right, there you have it. So it's Win Cheetah for Tom and Star Mac for Nick. Paul Lully chimed in. Romantic Warrior is his horse to follow for the back half of the season. The meeting details for TVB Cup race day, and we get underway at the normal start time for a 10-race program. C+3, the rail position for the turf, and 4 on the all-weather for meeting number 47. The 2 races we focus on, the TVB Cup, the Class 2 1400, and the 9th, the TVB Miss Hong Kong Pageant Handicap over the 1800 metres. The Cup, though, looks this way. Good luck, friends, second up from a lengthy break. Drombeg Benner is a 3-time course and distance winner. Talabagil placed course and distance last time. Gummy Gummy's finished top 2 in his last 7 starts. Alacrity, he's been back to the trial since running second last time. Find My Love comes back in trip. Superb Boy has placed last 2 course and distance. Gear change on Global Harmony. The cheek pieces off, the blinkers go on him, and Silver King has had 2 trials, Nick, since his last start. Global Harmony settles at the back, but for the favourite punters, because he is going to be favourite, he needs to jump out of the gates.
He does, and that's the most important thing, of course. Obviously, a massive blot on his copybook last time out, but he has looked better at his trials. We'll discuss that in more depth shortly. Drombeg Banner likes to lead. He's very good off the front, this horse. Superb Boy, I don't think will be too far away. Now, Keithy, he's lost his way a bit, but he might just be caught out a little bit deep as well. He's in gate number 11 there. Good Luck Friend backs up quickly. He'll be prominent. Silver King maybe caught wide, and Youthful Deal just in behind them with Talabagil time.
Yeah, well, Silver King led in his first 2 starts and then couldn't lead last time out. He was stranded wide, and he has been declared Aurora on a couple of occasions now, so that's obviously a concern for him. But a horse like Drombeg Banner, look, you could even argue that the other one that could sit handy in this race is in this field, Superb Boy, so we'll see where he ends up in the run.
We'll have more from the boys shortly. An interview firstly, though. Nick spoke to the trainer of Alacrity. It's Jamie Richards.
Jamie, Alacrity, as you're running the TVB Cup, that was a nice return to form last time.
Yeah, he ran well. He's a South American horse, and we sort of thought that the dirt would suit him. And yeah, he jumped away well and ended up on the pace, which is probably not where we thought we were going to be, but it worked out well for him. And unfortunately, all for St Paul's, just with the clay, kicked off the corner, and we weren't able to run him down. But he ran a good, honest race, and he seems to be in good form.
No, pedigree obviously being one thing, but had he always shown you that he might well adapt to the surface?
Yeah, well, the main surface that we trial on here is the dirt, and obviously they work on it every day. But yeah, we just thought that was a surface for him, and there's some other races on the all-weather coming up that he'll be targeted towards as well.
If we sort of pick the bones out of his form, I mean, there was a really good run back in October off of a pound lower course and distance. That certainly brings him into this, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's a funny horse. He just can't get his head and nose in front, but he's running well. He's just a little bit, he sort of doesn't make it easy on himself sometimes. Sometimes he wants to over-race and get a bit keen. When he sort of settles back, he can finish off his races. When he's exposed, he's just a little bit soft in the finish, so he just needs the race map and everything to work out well for him. And obviously the barrier draws aren't out yet, but hopefully he can draw a nice gate and get a bit of cover and finish the race off strongly.
What's his best trip in your mind, Jamie? I mean, he's an 1800 metre winner. You're bringing him back in distance here. What's his best distance, do you think?
I don't know. Won over 1800 last season with no headgear on. And then we were sort of playing around with him a bit earlier in the season, just seeing if he wanted to be a bit shorter and a bit sharper with blinkers on. But But anyway, 1400 Sunday and then 1650 and then possibly back up to 1800 again after that. But he's probably just on his rating a little bit as well, and just finding one better or a couple better in those races. And if Global Harmony jumps on terms on Sunday, he might well find one better again. But if you're not in, you can't win.
Absolutely true. Just finally, a nice trial since his last run as well.
Yeah, just maintenance trial for him. He seems to be doing well and happy with his condition going into the race.
And as Jamie Richards talking about alacrity, on to some replays now, Tom. We're going to show you the start of the last race for Global Harmony, where he just did not leave the gates.
No, and for whatever reason, he had a bee in his bonnet and stayed there and just refused to go. And that was off the back of what in the end was a very good win from him over Sweet Encounter. We know the form has been franked there as well. This race ultimately in the end was won by Mugen, and the other horses that come through this race, the likes of Ortula Bagil. He's been in very good form this season. Has been consistent since that fresh win. He was a bit slow away, but also out of this race, Nick, How Deep Is Your Love, Red Lion have gone on to perform as well.
Yeah, look, it's strong form. Obviously, we can't really say it's strong form for Global Harmony because he took no part. But as you say, for Ortula Bagil, he's finished well amongst them, and he's got both of them behind him. So that certainly does read very well.
We'll see what Global Harmony has done shortly, Nick, in the trials, but we need to talk about Brenton Avdulla, who's just had such a great week, a winning double with two superb rides at Sha Tin on Monday and then a winner at Happy Valley on Thursday night too.
Yeah, look, and you know, he's a quality rider, Brenton. There's no getting away from that at all. He's ridden some absolute pearlers, hasn't he, recently? So, yeah, great to see. Draws a good gate on this horse. I think he's got every chance.
Yeah, certainly does. He's in fine form at the moment. He's got Travel Golf, Lucky Charm, winning 7. Both of those two probably need to improve a little bit. Fast Buck was a winner on the surface a couple of starts ago. Sky Forever going well at the moment is also, and then he's got Ortula Bagil and Self Improvement in the last. He's also heading down to be part of one of our simulcast meetings next Saturday down at Caulfield for the Blue Diamond. He's picked up a ride there.
He has indeed. So a busy man is Brenton Avdulla. Here is Global Harmony, Tom. This is his trial. He ran second in it, and it was over the 1,000 metres down the straight. He's actually had 2 trials to prepare.
He has. He's had to front up in front of the stewards to say that he is going to be competitive in this race this weekend. What we don't see in this trial vision is before the start, he got down to about, I reckon, the 700 metres down the straight 1,000 metre chute, and then someone had to come and grab him from the start. 2 or 3 boys had to come and get him, and he would not go to the start by himself. So he was in a mood this Tuesday morning at the trials behind California Spangle, so hopefully fronts up in the right kind of mood. Yeah,
you'd hope so, of course. I mean, he's a smart horse. There's his profile, as you can see. And look, if all he hasn't probably won as many as some would have hoped for, he's got some very good form. And this year, he certainly has gone to another level. He's now off a mark of 81. But look, their favourite hobby horses is making fools of us, and he's doing that at the moment, so he needs to be on his best behaviour.
He certainly does, and he'll need to, because this horse, Nick Gummy is racing so well, be it on the all-weather or on the turf, as is the case in this race on the weekend, but he is just the ultimate model of consistency.
He's racing very well. There's no getting away from that. 2 runs this season. Benno Jung has got him, really cherry ripe. I mean, his profile in his last 7 races, he's either won or finished second. So he's always right there, and he wasn't beaten very far on this occasion. So he's versatile as well, Tom. I know he's only won on the all-weather, but he can go well on turf.
He's drawn 8 of 12 here. He's had a couple of good draws in those runner-up performances, his last couple. So I thought he had every chance last time out. He was just slingshot there late. But I think this week, when they've got limited options on the dirt in Class 2, this race is a bit tougher, I think, for him this time round.
All right, that was Gummy. And the trial here, Tom, of Silver King. He has had 2 trials since we last saw him. He comes up with barrier number 12.
Yeah, well, his debut run was excellent for a third behind Master of Fortune, and then he was really disappointing second up, and then he was equally as disappointing last time out, beaten over 46 lengths, and that was his second unacceptable performance in a row, and he has found to be a roar as well. Trial looked good. I'm going to include him because there is some quality about him, but he has to front up this time round.
He does, yeah, no, look, I fully agree. He's got talent, but he's clearly got issues as well. And when you've got those 2 consecutive unacceptables, that's not ideal.
Is it as simple as if Global Harmony jumps, he wins, Tom?
I think so. That's the key, though, if he jumps. I think speaking to Zach Purton after his first trial, he was maybe a little bit concerned in the gates that he wasn't going to jump in that first trial on the all-weather. So if he jumps, he can certainly win. He's got a great turn of foot. I've got number 9 in as well, and that is Superb Boy. Ortula Begilt and Silver King gets another chance, but running out of time for Silver King with his issues that he does have. 11, 9, 3 and 12.
Yeah, I've also gone the 11. Obviously, a bit of a chance taken with Global Harmony, but we know he's very good on his day, so he'll go on top. Over Alacrity, look, I think he'll run a nice race, this guy, so I'll put him in for second. Superb Boy is racing very well, consistent of late. Second to Mugen last time, reads well. And Gummy Gummy, I've put him in for fourth here in the 8th. 11, 6, 9, 5.
Straight to a break on Racing to Win. Back to look at race number 9 right after this. Welcome back to Racing to Win. He might not be here, Tom, but he doesn't own the copyright for Last Run Reminder, Paul Lally. So we've picked it over to yours. Hand it over to you to pick the Last Run Reminder for today.
It is Lucky Fee on a horse that has been racing really well in his 2 starts so far for Jamie Richards. So he goes around in race 4 as number 8, and he's trained by Jamie Richards. And you look at his first couple of runs so far. He's had barriers 12 and 13. He's had to get a fair way back, and here he is getting to the outside part of the track. This race here was eventually won by Ace Victory, who came out of some useful races, of course, behind Wunderbar and Cohen. The form has worked out very well from those races, and he's made strong ground out wider. Antoine Hamlin sticks with him. The key this week has to be he's come up with a good solid draw, barrier number 4, so he's a major player this week for sure. It's Lucky Fion, and they keep him at 1,200 metres. So he is race number 4, number 8.
Thank you, Tom. Lucky Fion, the Last Run Reminder. On to the second race that we preview on the show. It is the TVB Miss Hong Kong Pageant Handicap. We did ask Tom and Nick if they'd like to do this in the swimsuits this section, but both unanimously said no. The best peach at the top of the book. He comes out of a strong trial behind Romantic Warrior. Woodfire Bro, 3 starts for 3 placings this season. Packing Hurricane has a good record with Harry Bentley on board. Simply Maverick comes back to Sha Tin. He's been racing well around Happy Valley. Enigma flew along over the 2,000 metres last time, and Gallant Heroes, a 2-time winner over the 1,800, once on the all-weather and once at Happy Valley. There is the speed map, Nick.
Certainly is. Moments in Time, a horse that we know likes to lead. Hasn't led in recent starts, but did lead if you're going back 4 runs ago, back to a run in November. So look, likely to go forward from gate 4. They might make a bit of use of him. Enigma, as mentioned, did show good speed last time out, and he's drawn a couple of doors down, and imagine him to press on as well. Woodfire Bro, I don't think will be too far away from the pace from a good draw, and Hacker Radiance likely to get back.
Yeah, moments in time. I actually think Enigma might lead this race like he did last time, actually.
He gave a great sight in front for a long way last time, but Zach is back. Here he is with Nick talking Simple Hedge.
Zach, Simple Hedge, one of your rides in the 1,800 metre race on the weekend. He's racing well at the moment without winning. It looks as if he's ready to go close again. Yeah,
he's just sort of not really doing anything wrong, is he? He's going to the races and he's competing every time, but just seems to keep finding one better than him.
You're the only man that has ridden him, so he'll be obviously very well placed to judge. He's had those blinkers on his last 3. Do you feel that they've sort of helped him in finding that little bit required?
I think they have helped him, but I think as a horse, mentally, he's going to be better in time. He still doesn't quite know how to lengthen and hit the line properly and put them away and just get the job done. He gets there and he floats. His head carriage is quite high, so I think he's still trying to work it out a little bit, and there's going to be a little bit more there to come.
Without wanting to sort of get too far ahead of ourselves, obviously he is in the Derby. Obviously it's always a big talking point this time of year. He has run well over 2,000. Might a race like that perhaps come a bit quick if that's the way they opted to go, or how much has he still got to prove himself, do you think?
Oh, his rating suggests that he's still got a little bit to find on the other horses, but he can run the distance. He showed that last time. He's competitive, so if the owners wanted to run there, there's no reason why he can't take his place.
That is Zach's thoughts on Simple Hedge. We move straight on, Tom, to some recent replays. This is Moments in Time. This is a couple of starts ago where he ran second. He has since run in the Classic Mile. Yeah, and he was comprehensively beaten there, 6 lengths behind Helios Express. This was a good run at Happy Valley, but he does need to front up and perform here at Sha Tin. He's 0 from 3 across any of the columns when it comes to Sha Tin. So just happy to see what he can do here.
Yeah, that's my concern too, Tommy. Look, for as much as it was a good run, yeah, he's got to do it at Sha Tin.
Viewing this next replay, Nick, Woodfire Bro is the ultimate consistent horse. He rarely goes a bad race. Ingber finishes down the track. The Best Peach, he makes some ground from the back here too. Yeah,
I could give him a bit of a squeak here, the Best Peach. He's down in grade back into Class 3. He has won here, of course. His only win was in Class 3, so that certainly gives him a bit of a chance. You've got to love the attitude of Woodfire Bro. Wonderfully consistent horse, 4-time winner from 18. Michael Chang's got him now, and he just continues to race well. So I could certainly give him a chance. I don't mind that ensued form at all.
Yeah, certainly got Woodfire Bro in, and the Best Peach being an 85 to 60 race. I think this suits him quite nicely. Young Generations come out of that race and frank the form there.
He sure has. Simply Maverick, Tom, has been flying around Happy Valley. He has an eye on the 4-year-old series. There's a story from Leo Schlink today on the website that the Derby is very much on the radar for this horse.
And he's been racking them up very nicely at Happy Valley, and really put them to the sword strongly inside the final 200 metres last time out. And in the end, it was a pretty easy win over a Red Hair King. So again, he's got to step up a little bit here. He's only carrying £1 extra though, so that's certainly in his favour.
Yeah, and again, he's just got to prove himself here. I mean, what he's been doing at Happy Valley has been mightily impressive. There's his record now, 8 runs for the 3 wins, all of them around the Valley. But take a look at that column. That starts with ST. Charlton, 0 from 3. That is disappointing.
We'll see if he can keep going the right way coming back to the bigger circuit. There's Ricky Yu's last 10 meetings. Nick, it's impressive.
It is indeed, yeah. No, Ricky's got his horses going really well, of course, and you know, long may that continue. And there's a look at his runners on the programme, and you know, there are horses with plenty of chances there, Tom. Yeah,
trump cards, all riches resuming. Harry's Hero has been trumped as well. Affirms on a backup from the other day at Charlton. Good Luck Friends also on the backup, and Adafil on the all-weather in the last. Looks a big hope there.
Oh, good meeting again, possibly coming up for Ricky there with his runners. That is it. That's all we've got. We need your selections, please.
Yeah, on top here, I think it's a really interesting race, this one. I've gone with number 4, Simple Hedge, to topple here. Simply Maverick, Simple Hedge for Zach Purton, Simply Maverick. The Best Peach is certainly in with this extended rating band, and Woodfire Bro, always consistent, does enjoy 1,800 metres. 4, 7, 1 and 3.
Yeah, same numbers as Tom, slightly different order there with the minors. Going with the 4 on top here, Simple Hedge, nice horse. Does get further, and I think he's overdue another win. Simply Maverick in, look, chance taken with him, but he's in very good form. Woodfire Bro also in. I think the Best Peach will run a race here, so he makes it in for 4th. 4, 7, 3, 1.
There is breakdowns of all races available on the website, hkjc.com. Click on audio and video. The end of the show is near. Tom, we need your best bet, please.
Best bet marker comes up in race number 2, number 6, Great Spirit on debut. Stable not really known for debutante's dinnership, but I think the horse has been trialling well. Karis Teton rides the Kias, I think, as well. He's got a good draw compared to a couple of the other first starters in the race. Value Triumphant Warrior onto the dirt for the first time. Danny Shum and Jerry Chow. Here's his recent trial on the surface. Was able to lead up and to look to do it quite strongly over the final stages. So he's onto the surface for the first time. He's run a couple of OK races at Happy Valley, has Triumphant Warrior. And the play comes up in one of the later races. The main event, Ortula Begil, Superb Boy and Global Harmony. Give him strength to jump.
Yeah, best bet coming up for me is race 4, number 1, James Tack. Jerry Chow's back on board here. He's going up and tripped this horse as well, and this is his most recent run. Now, Ellis Wong rode him on this occasion, and he's kept on in the manner of a horse that I think will now appreciate the 1,200 metres. He has run over the distance, and he wasn't bad at all on his debut at a massive price behind Cahola Angel, and has trialled well since. So don't mind him as a strong chance there on the card. And the long shot, race 7, number 8, Victory Moments. He's still relatively lightly raced. I think he could be quite interesting here, and he's had a run to get him fully fit. And the play, race 9, numbers 3, 4 and 7 for me in the 9th.
Going to stick solid with Simply Maverick coming back to Charlton and hoping he can just keep going the way he's been going around Happy Valley at the big circuit. 1,800 metres for the first time doesn't look a problem. Montefruta was much better last time and has trialled well for Lyle Hewitson and Tony Cruz. And the play, race 7, 3, 5 and 11, Smoky Bear, Baby Crystal and Montefruta. Looking at the diary, and there's a Group 1 race appearing on the diary on the 25th with the City Hong Kong Gold Cup featuring Romantic Warrior and Voyage Bubble. Bit to go before we get there. Happy Valley on Wednesday night, and of course this meeting on Sunday. So plenty of good racing coming up, Nick.
Yeah, loads of it, and can't wait for that Gold Cup, Tom.
Yeah, it should be good. Let's hope Russian Emperor performs well over in Qatar as well on Saturday night. And the final of the DBS Manulife Million Challenge coming up Wednesday night. Some good racing coming up at the Valley.
It is indeed. It's all happening. That's been Racing to Win. We'll see you for the first at 1 o'clock on Sunday.